Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I've got a grocery haul here. I spent just under $100. I went to Coles, my fruit and veg store, butcher, and my Asian grocer. So we'll just start probably down here. I bought 2 packets of the flat rice noodles. I think they're called pho noodles. $4 each at my local Asian grocer. I picked up some pork chops for I think $10.50 a kilo at my butcher. Pork mince was $9.20, and I also got some lamb loin chops for $18.50 a kilo. Veggie wise, I got some navel oranges for $1.50 a kilo. Zucchini was $3.30. I only grabbed one this week. Onions were $2 a kilo. I grabbed one. White radish, I think, was $3.50 a kilo. So I managed to get that one for $1. So it was probably about 350 grams. Mandarins were $2.50 over there. These tomatoes were such a great steal. I think they were $1.49 a kilo. So we grabbed 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 tomatoes roughly. My local Coles and Woolies are selling Roma tomatoes for about $9.90 a kilo. And the fact I got these for $1.50 a kilo was a huge win for me. Coming over here, I grabbed some kimchi from my local Asian grocer for $6.20 for 500 grams. I think making kimchi at home is a lot cheaper, but I just haven't had time yet to learn how to make kimchi, so I kind of just went with convenience, and this has been pretty tasty. So the brand I was a fan of, and $6.20 for convenience, that's what I went with this week. I am going to be marinating some pork chops here with some garlic, oyster sauce, soy sauce, fish sauce. Gonna cook that, then serve that on some white rice and have a side of kimchi. And I've got these mushrooms here from my local green grocer, 3 for $4 or $1.50 each. So I grabbed them. That's probably going to be added into my little soup base where I make some pork meatballs, add the mushrooms in, probably add some tomatoes in, and the filler is going to be these flat rice noodles. The base of that soup is going to be this tomato hot pot base. I bought that a while ago when I was making hot pot, but I didn't, one of my tissue boxes went overboard. I didn't get around to using all the hot pot bases, so I'm probably going to use that for one of my meal preps this week. The jumbo bag of spinach I purchased at Coles for $6. I'm probably going to be sauteing that with some tomatoes and grilling some lamb chops for dinner. And I'm probably going to add some of that spinach into my pork meatball soup, just to add some leafy greens into it as well. If I don't end up using it all, I'm probably going to try and toss them in the freezer to see if I can use it next week, because I often have like sauteed spinach and tomatoes on the side with either lamb chops or sirloin steaks at least once a week. Moving over here, we grabbed some white rice. That was $5.50 for 2 kilos, I believe. And then my partner also grabbed this Barocca, some type of energy drink. Sorry, not energy drink. Some type of vitamin, I believe. It was half price, so he grabbed that. I don't normally drink this, but he does. And then he also grabbed this huge box of Nutri-Grain. I think it was 50% off. He still has some cereal there, but we like to add that into the stockpile or the pantry when they are 50% off, because cereal is quite expensive these days. I also wanted to share this with you. I've never seen a green apple aloe vera drink before, so we wanted to give this a go. This was $2.50 at my local Asian grocer, and we also grabbed a few little ice creams that I'll share with you, so I'll just pause this and go and grab them. Okay, so I'm back. This is a high chew grape ice cream. We grabbed this from the local Asian grocer just to give it a go, and my partner also wanted to grab this to try because he's seen this on YouTube. I think it's a Korean ice cream, I believe. It's pretty low in sugar, and it seems to be very popular, so he wanted to give this a go. And that's pretty much it for my grocery haul, guys. If you're interested in the cooking clips, just stay tuned, because I'm going to add that in this video as well, in the next clip. Welcome to the cooking segment of the video, guys. I've got some pork mince. I've added in some cooking wine, oyster sauce, fish sauce. I've also got probably about 7 cloves of minced garlic. I'm going to turn those into little meatballs And my soup base is going to be this tomato hot pot base. So I've just got some boiling water, then I'm going to pour in the soup base. Once that boils, I'm going to start putting in my meatballs. You can use whatever hot pot base or soup base you like. I've just used that because that's what I had on hand at home. So this is my pork meatballs that I'm going to add to the soup base. I like to add in some diced shiitake mushrooms in my pork mince balls sometimes, but I didn't have any on hand, so I've made a really simple meatball. Sometimes I even like to chop up some little garlic chives or spring onions to add into the meatball mixture as well. Once the meatballs have been boiling for about 10 minutes, you can start to add in your veggies, and the veggie of choice this week for me are these mushrooms that I got from my local Asian grocer. I believe they're called Muji mushrooms. Apologies for the poor pronunciation, but you can add in whatever you like. I also had a large jumbo bag of spinach in the fridge that I wanted to use up, so I kind of just tossed all of that in just to add some leafy greens into the soup as well. Then I start to heat up my pho flat rice noodles in a bowl. Then I just spoon my soup on top, and that's what it looks like. It was really delicious. I'm probably going to add this in the meal rotation more often. It was yummy, it was comforting, and it's perfect for winter. This next meal you guys would have seen me make before. I make it quite often. I probably only change up the protein every now and then. I've got some tomatoes, spinach, and minced garlic, and the protein of choice for this particular meal are the lamb loin chops. So I've just lightly seasoned it with a bit of salt and thyme. I've also trimmed off some of the fat because that's what I'm going to use to render the fat off to generate some oil, so that way I can cook my lamb loins in it instead of adding more additional olive oil or whatever. You can use whatever oil you like. I just personally prefer rendering off the fat to use that as my oil substitute. So I think I overcrowded the pot again because I was getting hungry and lazy, so I probably put too many lamb loin chops in this pot. But yeah, so this is a pretty simple meal that both my partner and I really like having probably 1 to 2 times a week. We either have lamb loin chops or T-bone steak or the sirloin steak, and we always have it with garlic, tomatoes, and spinach. Garlic's great for your immunity system, and I was able to get tomatoes really cheap at my local green grocer. They were only $1.50 a kilo, so I tend to use veggies that are in season or whatever is on special because inflation is crazy, so I want to make budget friendly and healthy meals. Now this next clip, guys, I kind of lost most of the footage, which is really annoying, but I've got some pork chops here that I've just seasoned with a bit of Chinese cooking wine, soya sauce and oyster sauce, and I'm just cooking it off in a little bit of oil, and I serve this on top of some rice with kimchi.